Hey everybody, welcome back. All right, now we're going to go into 11 through 20 of our list of things to stock up on. Hey everybody, welcome back. All right, now, and again, so we're going into our second list of 10 of our total of 100 items that I am prepping up on, that I'm stocking up on because I think that it's important. By no means am I meaning this list to be like the end all, this is the stuff you have to have, no, I'm not saying that. But this is stuff that I think is important. And I think that one of the things that I think is, if we watch a lot of these videos like this, we're going to get an idea of stuff that we might think is important, we might have forgotten about. And so I've come up with 100 items that I'm currently stocking up on, or I'm going to stock up on, that I think are important for me. Now, your family is going to be different than my family. So there might be items on this list that it's like, well, I don't need that. I don't need that. And that's perfectly fine. Because this is not, I'm not saying that this is the stuff you have to get. I'm just saying this is stuff that I think that I need. And I'm just sharing that information with you. Again, lists are if you live in a different climate, if you live in a cold weather climate, a hot weather climate, if you live subtropical, if you live in the, in like really far north where you have like a huge winter, your items, your list is definitely going to be different than mine. But I might have something on my list that you haven't thought about. And that's why a lot of these lists I see and I say, oh, you know what? I never thought about that. So, but anyway, and this is 11 through 20, but it's not like of importance. This is just the second list of 10. So it's kind of like, I'm just kind of like clumping lists together and it's like, okay, this 10, this 10. I'm just breaking it up into 10s. So I'm not saying that one item is more important than the other because, of course, that's subjective, right? What I think is the most important to stock up on might not be what you think is the most important thing to stock up on. I mean, for me, it's going to be water because, I live in the desert, and so that's going to be the hardest thing to come up with. But anyway, that's not even on the list because everyone has to stock up on water. Everyone has to stock up on, certain things, so I'm not even going to talk about that. But anyway, for the second one, and a lot of these, we're going to our second list, but a lot of these things you can get at like Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Family Dollar, and you can save yourself some money. So, and so you can go out and spend like, $15 and get like 10, 12 items. And if you do that every month, I know it builds up, but it also builds up. So, but anyway, so the first thing that I have on this second list, and this list here is pretty much just certain things that I think are important medical supplies that are inexpensive to stock up on. And they're not going to go bad, they're going to last. So it's like there's no reason not to stock up on them while the prices are still as low as they are. So you're not having to pay like $5 for something in 2 years that you can pay for $1.25 now. So, but first up, we're going to be talking about. I'm stocking up on gauze rolls and gauze pads. These are for like the more significant wounds. The things that you really got to keep clean so that they don't get gangrenous, and then you have to seek a doctor, because if there is a bad survival situation, you might not be able to see the doctor. There might not be a doctor near you, so you have to have the ability to take care of yourself. And I'm not giving I'm not giving any type of medical advice. I'm just saying this is the stuff that I'm stocking up on. But if you don't have it, you might want to do a little research and find out. But I don't know if you can see, but right here, let me see here. You can see it, but I have a scar right here where one of our dogs bit me. And I still have the scar, but it was deep enough that it was gushing blood. And I had to go to work, so I went in. I got my roll of gauze. I got some other stuff that's on this list we'll talk about later. And I was able to stop the bleeding, direct pressure. I did everything I needed to do. I was able to stop the bleeding and wrap it up, and I have a scar, but I didn't get infected. I never went to the doctor. I took care of it myself, right? I'm just saying, if you don't have to spend money on a doctor, if it's something that you can patch up yourself, do it. But gauze and gauze pads, they kind of go hand in hand. The pads, you know, you slap it on the wound and then you can just tape it up. The gauze, you know, wrap it up, same difference. Okay, so gauze and gauze pads, very important to pick up. Oops, that goes in there. All right, so moving on. The second item that I have on this list of 10 medical related items is simply triple antibiotic ointment. You know, a lot of times, any type of like wound that you're going to get is going to be like a superficial cut, right? But you don't want it to get infected. You want it to heal up right. And so this triple antibiotic ointment is going to help speed that process up. It's going to, you know, you clean your wound, you know, no medical advice, but, you know, triple antibiotic ointment is going to help you heal up faster. You know, everyone knows how to use this. I mean, there's directions right here. So it tells you clean the affected area, apply a small amount of this product. You can read it right off of here, YouTube. I'm not giving you advice, but I'm telling you, this is something that's simple to use. But this right here, stock up on it. This also has additional uses because it does have a petroleum base. It is a petroleum based. That's the inactive ingredient, petroleum. Well, so if you have like something like cotton, put a little bit of this on it, and you can use this to start a fire too. So this has more than one use. So you should be stocking up on some type of antibiotic ointment so you don't get infections. All right, moving on. Next up, medical tape, surgical tape. This is waterproof tape. You know, again, if you have to use a gauze pad and wrap yourself up, you need something to seal it up with. You know, and again, it's tape. So this right here, it's not going to go bad. And it's got instructions right here, so I'm not giving medical advice. Cleanse injured area gently and thoroughly with mild soap or antiseptic and water. Pat dry. Treat wound by using ointment or medical cream. Cover area with a non-adherent pad to protect the injury. Wrap gauze to secure the pad, and then you secure it with tape. So medical tape, very important to keep on hands. And again, this is $1.25. I got these. This is $2.50. You know, and am I going to use it right away? No. Will I need it? Hopefully not. But if I have it, I need it. I want it. So, and the amount that you need, that depends on you. But medical supplies are not something to forget about. All right. Moving on. Actually, I don't have an example of this yet, but I have several of them, but they're packed up right now. They're on the wall. I mean, I can get to them if I need it. But the cold packs, you know, and you know, I talked about them when we made our ammo box kit. They're the ones that you crack them, you shake them up, and they get cold, right? Those disposable cold packs. Stock up on those. They're not going to go bad. You put them in, you know, you put them in a hard container so they don't get crushed. And when you need them, you're going to have them so you can treat, like, you know, if it's swelling or something. So, you know, cold packs, that's what they're used for. But all right, okay, and then next up, ACE bandages. You know, these things, you know, if you know, for whatever you need to use them for, but ACE bandages, you know, this is like a thick cordage. So if you think about it from that, but if you need to wrap something up, you know, I don't know, you hurt your arm, right? And so you have to wrap it up, you know, to keep it immobilized. Hey, get your ACE bandage. Not gonna go bad. Stock up on it. It's cheap, $1.25. Got this roll for $1.25. All right, moving on. Oh, and along with ACE bandage, as well as the surgical tape, you have this stuff too. This is like this is that that tape that attaches to itself, and so you can wrap it and it just stick it. Yeah, so that goes hand in hand. This little tiny roll here, $1.25, not bad. You know, you buy a few of these, stack them away, you're good to go. All right, moving on, and this is another one. I don't have any of these, but sometimes I'll get, like, you know, shoulder pains or something, and Salonpas. I'm no sponsorship, but Salonpas makes, like, it's just, you put it on there, you know, and it heats the area, so it can soothe your pain. So those heating pads, or like some type of like topical, like what is it? Icy hot, some type of topical ointment to, you know, to ease pains, you know, to ease the, you know, those topical pains. You know, it's not going to go bad. And again, a lot of those topical ointments have petroleum in it, so you can use it to start a fire as well. So it has more than one use. All right, and then, oh yeah, And moving on, again, the biggest thing you're going to need in any time is Band-Aids. You need a lot of Band-Aids. Stock them on Band-Aids. They're not going to go bad. You might have the adhesive might get a little bit weak, but you always got your tape because you're stocking up on that as well. So make sure you have plenty of Band-Aids, because 9 times out of 10, the injury you're going to get is just going to be able to cover it up with a Band-Aid, because you just don't want to get dirt in it. You don't want it to get dirty. You don't want to get infected. Cover it up. All right, moving on. Another thing I don't have any of available to show you, but it's like a burn gel. Burns. I work in the kitchen. I've got scars from where I burnt myself. So if you do burn yourself, they have a burn gel which soothes the pain, and so it's not going to go bad. And I don't think that one has petroleum in it. It might. I think those ones are water based, but you have burn gels. And so there's no point in not stocking them up burn gels because they're not going to go bad. And burns and minor cuts are going to be the biggest things anybody ever going to have to worry about. And so that's like prepping for something that does happen. So you're going to use it in your day-to-day life. So there's no point in not having it. But if you're going to get it, make sure you rotate it, but it's not going to go bad. So if you have a stock of let's say you have 500 Band-Aids, and then as you go through a box, buy another box. Buy another box. Buy another box. Once you have that store built up, then you're just going one box at a time. All right. Next up, and this is something else that I got at the Dollar Tree. This is 100 for $1.25. So that's like just over a penny each. Alcohol prep pads. 100 alcohol prep pads. If you get a bee sting, it'll help with the pain on that. It's not sting relief, but alcohol prep pads are important, if you're going to, clean areas. But these things can be used to clean lenses and stuff. So there's a lot of uses for alcohol prep pads. And it's with these ones are 70% isopropyl alcohol. So I imagine these things will burn pretty easily too, because alcohol burns, and you use hand sanitizer as an accelerant also. So make sure you pick up plenty of alcohol prep pads. These aren't going to go bad either. They're sealed up. They're in a foil lined package. These are not going to go bad. Let's see here. There's probably not even a best by date on this. Sterile unless package is damaged or opened. Yeah, see, so there's not even a sell by date on this. This is not going to go bad. Stock up on it. Have plenty of this. And then the last thing that I think, you don't really need to stock up too much, but I think you should stock up a little bit. I'm going to stock up a bit. And I'm going to preempt this by saying, again, this is for most of the wounds that we would have to treat in a survival situation are going to be superficial. They're going to be cuts, burns. But just like with this one here, it bled a lot. But I didn't have to have stitches. It wasn't bad enough to go to but it bled a lot. So you can pick up some of this, some bleed stop. I know a lot of times when people see this, they think that it's for gunshot wounds and stuff like that. Yeah, but you may just be a bleeder, right? You might have someone in your family that has very thin blood, and once they start bleeding, it doesn't coagulate like it should. Bleed stop's going to help you. So this is one of those things that just you might be like, I don't need that. But somebody else might think, oh, you know what? Having some bleed stop on hand is a good idea. Because once again, you got to stop the bleeding. If you keep bleeding, that can lead to other problems. So, all right. So that's the second list. That's numbers 11 through 20. But this one is kind of a more specified list. A couple of these lists are going to be very specific. Like the food list is very specific. Others are going to be the medications that I'm stocking up on. That's going to be very specific. Some of them are going to be very broad because they're just kind of general products that I'm stocking up on that I think is important that you should know about. So, but that's it. That's the 10 items. So we got gauze pads, antimicrobial ointment, medical tape, ace bandage, or this a combination of both right here. So you want to have a combination of all three of those. cold packs. You know, the ones that you crush, you know, for like swelling and stuff. Ace bandage. Heating pads or some type of topical heating ointment like Icy Hot. Assorted bandages, just a bunch of different band-aids, different sizes. Get the knuckle, get the fingertip, get all of those types. They're all going to come in handy. And it seems like any kit you buy, you're never going to have enough fingertip or knuckle. And that's because, especially the knuckle, you definitely want to store up on knuckle because you move your knuckles a lot. And so every time you move them, you're going to be, you know, breaking that, you know, breaking the cut back open. So you need a lot of knuckle bandages and fingertips as well because they tend to not last as long. So I like to stock up a lot of those fingertip and knuckle bandages. Burn gel, number 8. Number 9, alcohol prep pads, very important. You know, there's a lot of use for alcohol prep pads. You want to clean items. I mean, at work we use it to clean a thermometer. We have alcohol prep pads to clean our thermometer before we temp the chicken. So there's a lot of uses for alcohol prep pads. Store up on them. They're not going to go bad. They're sealed up in a foil container. And then, of course, maybe or maybe not, kind of bleed stop. I think yes. Some people might say no. I'm not thinking that I'm going to need to stop bullet wounds. But like I said, with this one was right here, I kind of wish I had some handy because I could have just sprinkled that on there and then it would have stopped the bleeding. So sometimes you might just, you know, and if you do have a family that, you know, someone has like thin blood and they bleed a lot, you know, it might be like a good item to have on hand just in case. Because if they fall and they start bleeding, you're going to want to be able to stop the, you know, put that on there so you can stop the bleeding, whatever. So, you know, that's what it says right there. YouTube, it says right in the title, bleed, stop. I'm not giving medical advice. Again, no medical advice. If you don't know how to use the items, don't buy them. But like I said, most of this stuff here you can get at the Dollar Tree. This I got at Walmart, but you can get this stuff at the Dollar Tree for like super cheap. This is not like, I'm not giving out any like major, massive medical advice, you know, but I think that this is important stuff to stock up on. So, all right, that's it. That's the second 10. So now we have covered 20 items. We'll be back with more. These videos are going to start coming a little bit more readily now. As you can see, I got my office set up. So I got my 2A flag in the back, and then over here I got my stands, I got my books, I got my plaques. I don't have all my plaques up yet. I got a special video coming up for that plaque though. I got you, brother. And then, yeah, so I'm going to have more books over here. Got my hard drives. If you're in the military, you know. But there's nothing bad on those. But yeah, so that's it. If it's your first time on the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you haven't already, go ahead and watch the first video. I'll try to figure out how to put I'm not sure yet. But I'll try to put one of the cards in the video so that you can like just click on it. But if not, just go to the channel. I got a lot of videos out there. We're gonna start getting more videos out more readily now. I'm getting set up so I have like a permanent place to record, so it's not gonna be as bad. And then of course when we go outside, we'll do those ones too, because I still have projects I got lined up. They're backed up. I've just been so busy. But things are going to change soon. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones, especially my knee. But anyway, but that's it. Until next time, please. Oh yeah, and if you already are subscribed, please hit that thumbs up. It really helps me out. Leave me a comment. Push this video out. All that good stuff helps the algorithm. Until next time, keep prepping.